Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State of the United States for 4 glorious years, the finest Secretary of State this country has ever had. And during that time, she decided, solely, it was her decision, to keep her emails, which included classified information, on an unsecured server that we now know was stored in the bathroom closet of some guy's apartment in Colorado. We know that because Hugo Daniel of the Daily Mail did the reporting. Thanks for joining us, Hugo.
Hello.
Hey, good to have you. So, one quick question that I have to ask, just before we get to the details. Hugo Daniel, you're from the UK.
I'm from the UK, yes.
And you're reporting for the Daily Mail. Why does it take a British reporter from the Daily Mail to uncover this story when we've got all these journalists in America who should be covering our presidential election? Did you stop and say, no one else has asked about this stuff?
I'm not sure if it's anything to do with me being British. I live in America, and I was asked to go to Denver for the Daily Mail. I was quite surprised that no one had, thought to go and ask ex-employees from Platte River Networks, the company that Hillary assigned to her email server. Yeah. It was a good idea.
It is.
By us and the news editors.
And you got a great hit yesterday out of it. So what did you learn when you talked to the ex-employees at this server company? What was the company like? Why did Hillary choose them?
It's still unclear. It's basically they seem to think that, it was a good company. They liked working there. And they obviously were IT experts, but they were all very shocked that she would choose a small company that didn't really have much links outside of Colorado to run such an important job for her. Most of them hadn't heard about it, and they hadn't actually seen the story, and I had to sort of fill them in that Hillary had actually, used Platte River Networks. And then when I told them, they were all pretty shocked, and some of them had heard of it, but some of them hadn't even been following the story. They thought it was pretty strange that a small company would get the business of potential next president of America.
Yeah. Well, to be able to operate a server that contains classified information, you apparently have to get a sign-off from the Department of Defense, and it appears that this was sort of a small mom-and-pop shop. And it was initially, and it's in a bigger place now, but at the time, it was run out of basically what is a loft apartment in Denver. And were you surprised to find out that they basically took her server and put it in a bathroom?
Well, that's not exactly what happened. If you read my story closely, it says that the company kept their servers in the bathroom.
Ah, okay.
So Platte River Networks keep their servers kept in this loft apartment. This was their office up until earlier this year, from 2002, I think, when they were founded. And they kept their servers in the bathroom closet because that was, a convenient place for them in this setup for them. That was just something that one of the employees told me. And then I sort of, checked it again with a guy who co-founded the company, and he sort of laughed and said, yes, it was, but that was just the way we were set up. So, I think that the Daily Mail thought, well, it doesn't sound like the sort of place that Hillary Clinton would be expected to use for a job like this, especially that it's now been revealed that they weren't, okay to use classified information, or they weren't, sanctioned to be dealing with classified information.
But this was not a secure facility on any stretch of the imagination.
Not, in any sort of way compared to things you would expect for the government and things you would expect for a Secretary of State or a former Secretary of State. No, it's a loft apartment. It was, she told me that they didn't have an alarm. It was not secure like you would expect, like the Pentagon or something.
Our guest is Hugo Daniel. He writes for the Daily Mail, and he's a reporter who uncovered some of the details about this company in Colorado that was hired by the Clinton family to hold the server that contained all these emails, of course, that are now in question. I got to ask you, there's got to be some explanation as to why this company, out of all of the companies out there, this is a huge industry, housing email servers. What is the connection? Were there political connections with the owners of this company? I've read some stories that say they had connections to the Obama campaign and the Democratic National Party.
Yeah, so that was a big question that we wanted to answer when we were there. Like, what was the connection? How on earth did this happen that she was, come to use this company? And a couple of the employees brought up the Democratic National Convention, which was held in Denver in 2008. And then Tom Welch, the co-founder, said that John Hickenlooper, the Colorado governor, had used Platte River Networks back in 2003 when he was trying to become mayor of Denver. So that was possibly one link. And then also the VP of sales had offered Joe Biden his house to stay in during the Democratic convention, which was another, interesting revelation, because all these kind of different links began to appear with the Democratic Party. He was a big Democrat himself, apparently, according to the ex-employees. So possibly, the Clintons, were recommended them because these guys, well, at least some of them, were big Democrat supporters and had made themselves very visible during the Democratic convention. I mean, I can't say for sure, but that seems to be the links that they came under their radar then.
So let me ask you, as you continue to look at this matter, I'm sure that you're not finished reporting on this matter. What kind of things do you still want to know about this company?
I guess I think we want to know from Hillary. I mean, why can't she just come out and say, maybe just be honest and just explain what happened, and maybe just say, I'm fallible.
Well, that's a great idea.
Hillary, be honest. All right. Well, okay, Hugo Daniel.
Hugo Daniels. Listen, I know you're from the UK, but that ain't going to happen.
Thanks, Hugo. Great job. A nice get on that, and we look forward to following your byline at the Daily Mail, as clearly you are on the job.
Thanks a lot
for joining
Hugo.
us.
Thank you very much.